crazy that you're here at the same time that I'm here.
What?
It's just like it's like we just did this like random like I'm gonna send out a Zoom thing and you just jumped on. No, not really.
I'm just like interrupting people's Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that I interrupted one that had you in it, and
honestly,
you were the only one.
You want to know one of my favorite things to do is when people go live on Instagram, like I jump on their feed and I request, and I'm like, hey, put me in that video. Hey, how you doing? So it's actually surprising to me how many people allow me to get in. Hey, campers, basically here's what we're saying. If we see that you go live, we may jump on your live stream, and it is our expectation that you let your camp director. I think here's the deal. I think I love camp that much, and I love being around campers that much that I just, if I see one of them going live, listen, I want to be a part of that thing.
Absolutely. What's your go-to question?
What are you doing right now? And I love to watch their eyes. Well, what do you mean? It's okay. So here's my question. It honestly makes me feel like it's the go-to parent question. What are you doing right now? So what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're probably not there with JT, but have you walked into a room and asked him that yet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and we kind of joke with him that the T in his name stands for trouble because he's always like getting into trouble. So
I tried to convince my wife to name our son Jude Danger Gray, so he could grow up saying that Danger was his middle name.
And she didn't go for it?
She didn't. I actually got the idea from one of her friends up in Canada. I mean, you can't. Well, maybe I can't say that. Can you say I can't trust Canadians? Anyways, but yeah, the kid's name is Marcus Danger, and I was like, that's awesome. But yeah,
if you had named him Jude Danger, you could have called him JD.
Yes, JT and JD. Man, we missed out.
And JD Greer.
Yes, more spiritual answer. Yes.
Who I heard is actually a fan of this show.
Real, here's what I heard. I actually heard he tunes in. And JD, I'm sorry we weren't able to get you on last show. We will try to get you on this show. I'm sorry we had a really long show last time, but we just ran out of time. And
sorry to leave you waiting in the waiting room that entire time.
I know. I forgot to look at the bottom, check out the manage participants, and go, oh hey, JD's waiting there, still waiting there, but faithful. So, hey, how well do you know camp? Like, just think about it. I mean, well, let me ask you this: how many years have you been doing camp with Word of Life?
Well, I started doing Camp Crew when I was 14. And I'm 30 years old now, so I've been doing it for 16 years.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Every summer, I've been involved in camp in some way.
I've been doing camp with Word of Life since summer of 1999. So is that 21 years? Well, technically 20 because I haven't done it this year yet. Well, I did Pursuit Camp. So yeah,
that counts.
Doesn't feel that long. But you know what? And have you ever had anybody call you up and say, hey, tell me about your camp? And you're like, it's camp. Like, I mean, I can give you specific things about us that like we find like important, but it's camp.
Right. It's like describe an amusement park to me. Well, it's an amusement park.
It's an amusement park. It's
roller
got roller
coasters and carousels and
yeah. Like I want to just send them pictures like that one behind you and say, this is camp. Like, what do you think that girl is thinking right at that moment right there? If you had to give her a word bubble, what would she say?
I can tell you what she's not thinking, that she will be, her face and her teeth will be seen around the world for years and years to come.
Yes. That's if I was to summarize probably in one word or one sentence, I'd think that she would barely be saying, ah! Like, just something like that. I don't know. Sorry if I just blew out your eardrums.
What?
What, JT? What, Britt? So, hey, I thought we'd play a little game.
Okay.
I'm going to play for you one of our videos. And because we know camp, so I just need you to walk us through like almost like a director's cut commentary I need you to walk us through, as if I've never seen this video before.
Okay, so here's how it works. You say when to pause the video, and whenever you pause it, I will explain what's happening on the screen.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
Very faintly.
All right, so tell us, what are we watching here, Tommy? I'm confused.
This is the rules video that we play at the beginning of camp.
Oh.
And there's not very many rules at camp, but there are a few rules. And so we always try to make a really creative video. And in this case...
What is going on in that? What is that guy doing?
Well, that guy is trying to touch his big toe with his tongue.
Dang. That's how COVID got started right there.
Yeah, well, and this is a good example of what we do at camp, where we're just trying to kind of knock people off their balance a little bit, this kind of hits you right in the face with like, what in the world?
Wow. Okay. All right.
Oh, hey there. Sorry, didn't see you sitting there. So you think you can survive the wild, wild, wild west? Well, listen, before you go on saddling up your horse and chasing down the sunset, there's 3 rules.
Hold up. He said 3 rules, but he's got 4 fingers up here. What's the deal?
It's because of the way that we explain the rules. Sometimes it can come across as 4 rules. And so this is it's actually very smart. This is a subconscious way that we're communicating to the campers.
Okay.
Because we say there's only 3 rules. It's actually more like 4 rules. So if we say 3 but hold up 4, it communicates to them what I just said.
Okay. All right.
You need to live by if you want to make it around these parts. Rule number 1, no cutting. You need to be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be. That's the best way to avoid miscreants and hoodlums around these.
What's a miscreant and hoodlum?
Those were old-fashioned swear words in the Wild West.
Wow, you guys are slapping people in the face. Okay, all right.
Parts. So number 1, make sure that you're at the meeting. You want to be at all the meetings because you might miss important announcements.
Why could you guys not afford to get a real gator? I mean, what? That guy just slapped that other guy with what's going on?
Yeah, no. So this is called camp humor right here.
Oh,
and
okay.
We can't use real alligators because they're very difficult to control. And in any good video, you have to have control. And so what we use these fake alligators. Every camp's got hundreds of these things.
Oh yes.
And
yes.
So this is just humorous right here.
Okay. Oh, okay.
We're not to that rule yet.
Number 2, don't be late to any town activities. Why?
I thought there was no dancing at Word of Life.
Common misconception.
Okay.
There is celebratory dancing is allowed.
Rule number 2, no contraband. That's right, we don't want you bringing your guns into town. So that means no guns, knives, tonics, cellular phones, new microelectron. Is that even a real thing?
Is that more camp humor?
More camp humor. Yeah. This is a classic.
I like your style. Next rule. Rule number 3.
Now he held up 4 fingers there.
Subtle. This is very subtle. Very some in-depth psychology going on here.
Okay. Has this guy worked at camp? Because I see those rings under his eyes. He looks so tired.
Yes, this is what happens. Counselors, this is what happens when you don't rest on your day off.
No contact. This one's a toughie. How can I settle in and say it as delicately as possible? All right, I'll just come right out and say it. We don't want, nor do we need, any all doing that ooshy-gooshy little touchy-feely stuff going on, okay? That's right. That means I don't want to see y'all holding hands. I don't want to see y'all hugging. And I definitely don't want to see you kissing.
You don't ever have any of that problem with your counselors, like during the summer, right?
No. Our counselors, Very focused. Very focused. You know, I tell them the story that we talked about last week, where they're not even allowed to speak to each other, and you know, it cuts down on the
Without permission.
without permission, right?
I appreciate you putting me in the best light last week.
When the time is right.
Yes.
I mean, you could get a disease from that. Come here. I'm pretty sure that's how you can get dysentery. One time, Mary Blue Bluther, she tried to kiss me. I tell you what, I'm glad I staved that away because I could have died. Whew.
Can you give any truth to the fact that kissing leads to death?
Yes. Everybody who kisses dies.
Now,
That is a scientific
last little
fact. You can take it to the bank.
I mean, you're swapping germs right there. Wow.
we have a very strict no fighting policy.
Hey,
See, rule number 4. So this is the 4th rule. This is where we sneak in that 4th. He's holding up 4 fingers, says there's only 3 rules. This is like, it's a sub rule of the 3rd rule. So,
I get it.
It's a legal thing that we do because otherwise people are like, well, you said you only had 3 rules, but this is the 4th. It's like, well, yeah, we said we had 3, but we held up 4, so we.
Yeah. It's kind of like false advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Protecting us from that.
And then, okay, what is the significance between the 520 on the door back there? I know you guys don't allow anything to happen just for nothing.
520 is the amount of campers that we can have in 1 week.
Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah. And that's the hey, we're going after this goal.
520.
See here at camp. So here's the deal. You put up your fisticuffs, and we call your mama, we call your papa, we call your grandma, we call whoever we need to call to get your little keister out of camp. Plain and simple. I guess that's all it. It wasn't as hard as I thought. Hey, that's old Pete once again messing everything up. So, hey, listen, you live by these 3 rules, and you'll have a mighty fine time here at camp. Thanks so much.
Wow.
Thank you, my toes.
How many kids got excited every week when he licked his toe at the end there?
That was the best part.
Wow.
They loved that part.
Did he wash his? Did he take a bath or a shower before that, or did he just add to the?
You know, a side note: this type of humor will probably not be as funny this upcoming summer.
Yep. Nailed it. I agree with you. All right, now I'm impressed with that. Tommy. All right, so now, so that all is fair, I am going to walk us through an island video, and you just need to say stop or hold up for a second, and all right.
Okay, pause.
Yeah, this is my favorite. This was my favorite start to the video. This is my son Grayson, who's 5, drew this, and he came to me one day, very beginning summer, and he was just like, "Dad, I don't get to be at camp. I'm 5. I can't. How can I be involved?" And I said, "Buddy, we're all a part of the body of the island." And so he drew this. The interesting thing is this. This is all actual dot artistry. So all of that's happening right now, he drew all of this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Impressive.
He actually you don't know this, but he remixed the song. Well,
okay.
Or maybe not.
Beautiful.
It is. This is a special island.
I've got something for you.
Like you said, see, these girls were getting ready to ceremonial. They were so excited. That
yes.
So.
Something draws me to you. It's taking over me. Don't know where.
All right, pause.
Okay. What's your question?
Yeah, just explain what are we looking at in this?
So this is this summer we did a theme renegade, which a lot of people thought we were saying like, hey, be a renegade for Jesus, like go in the opposite direction. No, we don't. See, sometimes people read too spiritually into it. It's actually don't get in trouble. So these are actually 2 jails. There was a blue jail and there was a red jail up front, and not only if you broke one of the 3 rules, Okay, did you go into the camp jail? But also, if your cabin was the dirtiest cabin, so some campers purposefully made their cabins dirty, so their counselors had to sit behind the jail. Yeah, it's actually kind of made me mad.
Yeah, did it?
Yeah, but
Don't know where you came from, but you're cutting deep. When the music's over, will you come with me? Tell me you can feel
Pause. What's going on here?
this is okay. I'm a little embarrassed about this. It says it's week 7. We got a little excited about we wanted to finish all 8 weeks, but we got to week 7 and we just decided to tear the whole beach down. So this actually this chair used to sit like 4 feet off the ground, and somebody got a little overzealous. You see, we don't even know where the canoes are. So we're using that bucket next to the guy. That's the canoe and the kayak. The oars are right there beside him. And we were like, well, where are we going to put up the sign for the rules? We still have to have the rules. You'll notice, here's the deal. It actually says most have passed the swim test. Is what it actually says. Most have passed the swim test. Most sign in with a lifeguard. Most wear a life jacket. No tipping. No splashing. Most stay between South Point and the swim area. But I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of kids don't. We just try to encourage them to say, hey, most people do. Unfortunately, it looks like it says must. It's not. That was a typo. I'm sorry. I lied to you. Those were our final kayaks out on the water right there. Right there in the distance. But those were the last ones. So.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that's another one of the stolen ones. We should have seen that this was getting stolen. The girl said, "Can I take it out?" And we were like, "Sure." Somehow, yeah.
So wait, pause it real quick. So of a 4-minute video, of the first minute, 30 seconds of it has been paddleboarding. Is that a pretty big thing for you guys?
So here's what I need you to understand. You ever have like a moment behind the curtain with the Wizards? I would love to tell you that most of the campers come for the hype and the excitement. Most campers come because they want to paddleboard. That's,
that feels appropriate that there's so much time given to it in the video.
Yes, it is so appropriate. In fact, when you watch this video, you're going to see what is the most important to these campers right here.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, that was the sad thing when half of our paddle boards got stolen and kids had to go into those little tubs, But most of the kids have never been paddle boarding, so they don't even know what it is.
Pause. What's this event?
This one, we try to make every camper feel special, and so every single time a kid has a birthday, we celebrate it. We stop everything. This, unfortunately, I'm surprised these girls are excited as they are, because this was our 654th birthday of the summer. I'm beginning to think that people were lying, that it wasn't really their birthday. Some people say, go back to the old school way and just sing them happy birthday. No. If you have to spend your birthday at camp, I want it to be special.
That's good.
Can I be honest with you, Tommy? We didn't even do that many meetings this week. We just birthdays and paddleboarding. Pretty much, that's why you see. We had that one meeting in the very beginning. We caught that, and then pretty much it was her birthday.
Oh, okay. She's excited. Whoa, pause. What's that guy?
this is a toughie. Every once in a while, we have people from the town sneak on the island, and he was stealing something, and so you would think that everybody else around him would realize that something's different here. Look at this. Nobody cares. Nobody's caring. They're just like, go ahead, take it. This kid's like, hey. I'm beginning to think that this is also the kid that stole the paddleboards too. Really crazy thing. Here's the really wild thing. We celebrated this kid's birthday 4 times this summer. I don't know why we.
Well, you got to give him an E for effort.
Yeah, we did. We gave him a massive E for effort. He kind of got tired, but still, nobody. There's my program guys sitting in the back there. See, they're just like whatever.
Yeah, just take it.
Yeah. At that point, week 7, they were tired of playing that game.
Was that worship?
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, because we weren't able to do really any of the meetings outside of that one.
Because of all the birthdays.
We have a lot of the birthdays. To be honest with you, watching back this video, I mean, this is from August 10th. I can't tell you in all honesty if this kid is singing happy birthday or singing a worship song. But honestly, like we're celebrating somebody's life, and celebrating life, is worship.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping you could fix these broken scenes, floating through the puzzles and the endless screens. I've got something for you, and it's cutting deep. Now the music's over. Will you come with me? Tell me you can feel it, though we're
Oh, pause. Whoa, what's this activity?
This is we bring in race cars. These look like. Well, let me ask you a question. You think these are model cars or real cars?
Based on the feet in the background, I'll say real cars.
They are. Listen, did you not realize in Lord of the Rings they had trick camera angles? These are actually real things. Here's the deal. On the island, we go so big, we bring in dirt track race cars that you can get in, you and a buddy, and 3 of your kids in the back. You can go riding. It's big. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Oh, that sounds great.
Listen, it is a special island. We trick kids though to think that they're controlling the cars. So you would think that they would catch on, but no, they don't.
Whoa, pause. What's this?
This is a dunk team. Do you not know what a dunk team is?
Oh.
I mean, this plain and simple. This is
Okay, never mind. Keep going then.
I don't know. But to be honest with you, we lower the rim. It's camera angle. So you and I probably could do some pretty sick.
Wait, go back to that girl. Yeah, right there.
She was one of our more spiritual campers. She was annoyed that we weren't having meetings, and so she just decided she was going to do Bible study herself. And so she was looking at, I believe, the 126th birthday party, and she was like, "Y'all are a bunch of liars." Not that many people have. Yeah, she was good. We're probably going to bring her back as maybe one of our speakers next week.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Well, if somebody's that interested in it, like, I mean,
right.
She's also got a little bit of judgment going on. So we're not sure.
I feel judged.
Happy birthday again.
Yeah, that guy was leading worship for her meeting that she was doing.
Yeah, he was like, you gotta get over it in Jesus' name, so. We actually have, we actually were able to open up one of our other services. We do services in hammocks. We figure if the kids are going to fall asleep anyways, then let's just give them hammocks and make it comfortable for them. I was going
to say, that sounds like a cool way to hang out.
Listen. Got him.
It's very suspenseful.
Yeah, but this is illegal. This actually goes against our child safety laws right here.
Ooh.
Territory.
That's right.
But it's just a yellow card, so we're gonna.
Guys, it's been a great honor to be with you this week and be able to speak and hear some of your stories.
You know this guy's name?
No, tell me.
Randall Cunningham.
Randall, wow.
Randall, yeah. The blue team won. Or excuse me, the red team won, so now you see the whole blue team is in the jail. If you remember from the very beginning, we had a red team side, blue team side. So Randall, he came in, he spoke about the book of, he spoke on Colossians, and it was a great time.
You just had the one meeting, though?
Yeah, just the one. Well, he tried to do a second meeting with the, but with everybody hanging out. But
I want to encourage you that as you go from here, continue to recognize that you'll hear a lot of things from different sources. You'll hear some things from Christian culture, you'll hear some things from your secular culture, and some of those are good and some of those are bad. And I want you to be able to use God's word to figure out what is true and what is right. Base your life on that. Follow God, He loves you. Thanks.
And then we thought we'd end back with Grayson's picture.
Appropriate, very appropriate. Well, that's cool.
There's a lot of fun stuff that we do. Well, let me ask you this. On a normal week, having semi-serious talk, what's your favorite thing to go and be a part of on a normal week?
That is a tough question. I feel like I say about everything that this is my favorite part of camp.
Yeah.
This is my favorite meeting. I say that about Monday night and Wednesday night and Friday night and Sunday night. Like there's so I don't know, that's a tough question. Activity wise, well, I mean, going to the snack shack, probably just across the board. I love going to the snack shack.
I think that's the most I've ever heard you say that word.
I know normally I can't say it, but
you can't. You know what I love? I love that time when like you've prepped camp, you've planned camp, you've prepped all your services, and then like you attend them and you actually enjoy being at them. Like you're just like, this may be the fourth time that we've done this meeting, but I love it. And I love having conversations with my staff afterwards and my people. Like that to me is probably one of the coolest things, coupled with times that campers will come down and they'll be like, I feel like you guys planned this week for me. Like and I'm just like, that wasn't us. Like God had his hand all over that thing. And just watch him. How cool is it for you when campers come back either as camp crew or come back as counselors?
Oh, I mean, that's the best. And when you can see how, just the journey of them going to camp, how camp changes them. A lot of them come back to be a part of camp crew. And then that's kind of this really cool in between where they are now a part of other campers' spiritual journey, but they're also in their own discipleship program. They're being poured into all summer long. And so, and then if they then make it all the way to be on a counselor, and those are always our best counselors. I mean, they're the ones who are most excited about it and understand what's going on. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So we sit at a time right now, not really sure if we're going to have camp this summer or how we're going to have camp this summer. And just to be transparent with you, man, there's a little pit in my stomach. Like the idea, I know we can make it without doing camp. I know we can. And I'm sure you say the same thing that I say. God doesn't need camp. He doesn't need this. He doesn't need that, but it would be a hard summer not to have that.
Here's what I do know, Kyle. The mission of camp will go on no matter what.
Oh yeah.
It might not happen through camp as you and I would want it to be and plan it to be, but the mission of the island and the mission of the Florida Youth Camp, that will be accomplished one way or another. I'm confident that the mission will go forward. It just will be, well, who knows what it'll be at this point.
Yeah, I definitely don't. Hey, one of the things we're doing this thing called the pause or pause, and it's the idea of just silencing everything, stopping everything, and tuning in. We're actually going to play an old camp message, not an old camp message, although that'd be kind of cool to like go back and get like a message from Paul, like if you could find some, not the apostle, but Boober. But I think Boober grew up like 5 years after him. You know,
the next best Paul.
But we're gonna do that. That's gonna show, I believe, every day at 10 o'clock, every day Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock. And right now we're watching a series from one of my favorite guys that speaks down here in Florida, Cameron Triggs. Actually, his pastor, H.B. Charles, is up on the lodge, and I think they brought a bunch of guys up to the island the last couple of years.
HB and some of the other church staff came over to the island, and we gave them a tour and stuff. Yep.
Awesome. That's cool. I love how Don reminds us this all the time. You know, it's one heart, one focus, happening in a couple different locations. In fact, it reminds me of a conversation that you and I had out at a Starbucks when I told you, hey, I'm not coming up there. And you looked at me across the table and gave me probably one of the most encouraging, because I was like, man, this is going to be hard. This is going to be really tough. And you said, yeah, but I think this is really cool, Kyle. Now we get to see the same heartbeat that you and I have just happen in two different places. And so love what we get to do and what we get to see. And so you're right. I don't know how it's going to look. You don't know how it's going to look, but it's a good reminder. The message and the mission of camp will continue to go on.
Yep.
You're doing something every day to reach out to your campers, right? What are some of the things that you guys are doing right now that people can tune into and watch?
Yeah, so every day around 3 p.m. we have something happening Monday through Friday. On the weekends, you know, we want everybody to be engaged with their church, and a lot of churches are doing stuff on the weekends. But so Mondays, this show, Camping In, and then Tuesday is, now I'm gonna forget. Twitch Tuesday. Yeah, so I play Xbox every Tuesday, and I stream on Twitch. And if anybody wants to come jump in my Fortnite squad, they can, or we can just hang out and talk on Twitch. Wednesdays, a Instagram scavenger hunt on our island Instagram, which is just kind of like campers finding random things around their house, and most of the time they have something to do with the island too. Thursdays is a live lip sync battle, and so we broadcast that live, and we watch 2 different videos of people lip syncing, and then they can vote on who the winner is. And Friday is we always have a different special guest, and campers can submit questions, and then they can hopefully hear their question answered by a special guest. So the first week we did it was X Games gold medalist and American Ninja Warrior Emily Durham. And then this last week was Miracle Matt, we call him. He's also a professional athlete, but he's had a couple of like injuries, accidents that should have killed him, but he's still alive. And so that was who we did this last week. And then we'll have somebody else this next week.
That's awesome. I like it. And I love how during this time, you know, in fact, I'm getting ready to record a session for our ministries chapel tomorrow. You know, how do you stay connected while we're disconnected and while we're distant? And I was thinking about this the other day. Somebody said to me, how cool that 5 years ago, I don't think we would have had a lot of the technology in place to have this happen, but yet God, in his perfect timing, has allowed so many of these different things. It's a wild, crazy time, but so many different ways to connect with people. And I've enjoyed some of the creativity that we watch going on, and some of the stuff that you guys are doing. And I'm excited to see what lies ahead. So
definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, thanks for hanging out with me today, man.
Yeah, thanks for camping in.
Camping in with me. Nice.
Next week, I'm gonna dig up an old program video that you have a substantial cameo in, and maybe we can watch that together.
I like it. Awesome.